Perfect. Alright. Alright, bro. I'm gonna pack a bobby. I'm gonna put a kernel of this boo-boo in there. And, well, it's all boo-boo, huh? Well, I guess, we can get started on the weed that we're gonna review a little later. Kind of let it sit with us for the podcast, and then when it comes time to break it down, we can talk about what we know about it. How's that? Because we've already opened, there's no rule that says we have to open it fresh right now. We can still react to it and everything, you feel me? Yeah, let's give it a shot. I got some nice stuff, really nice stuff. I can hold this, pack some lobby up. Hey yo, so, real quick. So, this shirt head that I copped, package date, March 2nd, 2021. But the harvest date is... Okay, yeah, here it is. This is February 5th, 2021. So, it's about a month difference between when they harvested and when they cure it. And I think that's really important information. It lets you know how old the plant really is, both how old it was from when they cut it down to when it got in the jar, and how long it's been in the jar before it reached my hands. You feel me?
So how long has it been in the jar since it was cut?
Since it was cut, it spent 4 weeks outside of the jar curing, developing flavors and stuff, and then it sat in the jar from March until now. I just cracked the seal today. And today's the first day of May? Maybe 2 months in this controlled, crazy good environment, And for a lot of people, that's irrelevant information, Just tell me how high it gets you, and that's it. But today, on today's podcast, I want to discuss how important that difference is between the harvest date and the package date. I mean, real talk, top shelf as a general rule, it's more determined by how potent your weed is. You feel me? You shot for potent weed, no?
I used to. Now it's all about the terps for me.
Oh, God.
You know?
Well, I'm about to chase some flavors, so.
It's tough. It's tough to, be able to pick out your flower nowadays. All you look at is the packaging date, and you look at your THC, and you either gotta know or you don't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what makes you, is this good weed for you?
So, I got this stuff. I don't want to ruin too much because we have the strain review coming up in a later episode. Y'all be sure to peep that. But I picked this up because of the quality of it, because they gave me so much information on the label, and that's not necessarily the industry standard. By and large, they'll tell you one or the other. You're not going to get both. They're not going to tell you when they harvested it and when they packaged it, because I don't think it really behooves the consumer to know all that, A lot of people don't know what to do with that. That costs ink, that costs time, effort, you feel me? Oh man, this stuff looks good.
But, no, yeah, it does look really good, actually. But, yeah, that's a lot of information that I actually don't care for.
Yeah.
You can give it to me however. As long as it looks nice and it smokes nice, I don't need that extra.
And so it's easy for you to say that, but, bro, when you're shopping at the top shelf level, I'm talking top. Let's say Wosiwo, for example, 30%, classic, one of your favorite strains. You're getting that for, what, $70?
Okay.
Let's say, here comes Cream of the Crop. They're dropping this brand new rainbow cake, indica dominant, crazy terp forward.
So
sitting at wait, same price, but it's also 31%. What makes you choose that versus that? You got to look at other numbers now. It's not just about how potent it is. Well, shit, how long has it been in the jar? Which got here first?
When people
first
go to
first
the
out.
shop, do they really ask for that? Tell me, how do people shop? Do people really look at that?
It depends on the level of your stonerism. About to get real deep.
Talk to me.
But first of all, let me shout out our listeners on Apple, our listeners on Spotify, all the homies out in Ireland. Yo, real talk. Hey. I've been looking at the stats, bro. The fact that we have listeners who really be chiefing big and know what's up with the good shit in Ireland, that's big news to the club, bro. Huge. So shout out to them, all the first time listeners, the last time listeners. Yo, much love to y'all. This podcast, Outsmoken, powered by the Green Grinders Club, the dopest cannabis brand on the West Coast. So if we're talking about how people smoke, how people shop when they're picking up some bomb stuff, at least in the legal market, you can tell me how it goes for the trap market in a little bit.
Yeah,
but
easy.
it 100% depends on the shelf that they're shopping at. For example, the Pacific Stone cats. These cats don't care about when it was packaged. You're being sold on the price point, you know? $25 eighths? Who's gonna tell you, yo, I don't have any other questions. Just like when we had that business negotiation, when we heard that good price, we didn't really care about anything else, right? We just care, or homie didn't care about anything else. He's like, oh, that's the price? Then cool, we can do business. At a certain point, when you're being incentivized like that, a lot of the other shit falls to the wayside. They'll take sticks, they'll take stems, they'll take tiny ass nugs, shit that stoners like me, I got class.
You're bougie stoner.
Yeah, and so, but I'm talking, that's what you're shopping at when you're going to the $25 level, you feel me?
Okay, so then what are you getting at the 40, 45? Like, that's like your top shelf, but not your premium, right? Like
oh my god,
is that,
no.
Would that be like your like top mids or kind of like mid?
Bro, hold on. I'm stoked as fuck for this strain review. This is dumb gas. When I pass this to you, if you don't react the same way, we might be on different pages. You might not have the same palate as the boy. This shit is fire. But anyway, so the mid shelf, how do cats shop on the mid shelf? The mid shelf has a bit more selective of a stoner, you feel me? Cats that like really bomb weed, but also like keeping money in their pocket. And these are the ones who have really intelligent questions because they do value their dollar, you know, but they also value cannabis enough to spend at least a pair of shoes on it, you know? I'm putting a pair of shoes in my lungs. I could be laced with some Nikes right now, some Vans, $45. Watch me go to Cerritos Mall, watch.
$45 for some Vans? Where you buying these Vans from?
I got the you know, shout out to Emily, that's my little plug connect, you know.
Oh, okay.
But she hooks me up with a little employee discount on occasion.
So then what's your top shelf then?
So the top shelf cats, I feel like you have really two crazy polarizing places where money doesn't matter, they just want the best weed. And for those cats, they low-key shop like the Pacific Stone cats, you know, where, hey, yo, I don't care what the fuck you tell me. Is it the most expensive weed? I want that. Yeah, luxury only. Only the best hit these lungs.
Okay, so then are they looking at this harvest date?
Some of the cats that buy the $80 eighths, the $90 eighths, $100 eighths, yeah, they look at the date. But by and large, I don't see that. I see the educated stoner, the more refined, the bourgeoisie. These are the cats, the ones that shop at that $50 to $60 level, just under top shelf, because those are the ones that are bargain hunters. The Warren Buffetts of the cannabis game.
So
they don't want
the Elijahs.
The Elijahs. They're looking for the value choices. They're not looking for, oh, yo, you can put any number on any stock you want, you know, but I don't know if this is a good value. They're looking for the Green Dragons. They're looking for the Josh D's. High quality choices, really reasonable prices. Like, that's where I think...
And that Green Dragon's fire.
Dumb fire. And tell me you don't pay more than $60 for that.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Roughly.
Is that not as fire as anything else you've gotten at the $80 level? Wait, hold on. We ain't doing no fucking commercials for these niggas. I mean, Green Dragon, if you want to show love, but, yo, I'm not. I'm just letting you know I'm not.
But, anyways.
anyways, I think that's really where the most important, the stoner that drives the culture sits at that $45 to $60 range.
So, but
stealing for the bangers, you know?
But, so is the harvest date and, like, that packaging date really necessary? Like... Do they really want that? Do the consumer do they really want that? So
if we're going to talk quantitative analysis versus qualitative analysis, I think so. I think when you run out of ways to value or tell how good a quality is, let's say there's 30 brands all sitting at $50. Some shops, if you go to the Sizzy store, they got a lot of fucking brands, you know? If Sizzy has 16 selections at $60 and they're all testing between 28 and 31%, I mean, what the fuck? How else am I going to choose? I got to look at some different numbers. maybe for some people that's CBD. For some people that's, oh yo, this one has CBN. For some people it's the name brand. Oh yo, this one's that Purple Urkel. This is that Marathon OG. This is, but for some people it's how fresh your weed is. You know, is it moist? Did it just come off the vine? I like going to farmers markets because oftentimes they still got the dirt on the shit. You know.
So I think it's really your growers who probably care about that. You know, people that really care about like that grow experience.
But have we not also postulated that that's the final frontier? I mean, dabbing's the final frontier for getting high, but when you grow, there's nothing left for you in the cannabis space. No. You know the plant in and out, you know?
Very true.
So the people who shop like growers are the ones who are really winning. I want a fucking car. If I am a mechanic, I know how to fucking buy a car. What are you talking about, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess the packaging date is important then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I still don't care for it.
All right, fair enough. To me, it's something that I look at, but it's not the make all, break all, you know? I'll take weed that's a little bit older if it's packaged up, wrapped up right, you know? Like, I know the brands that come in boxes, maybe it's a separate layer where it creates an atmosphere inside the box that is separate from the atmosphere in the shop or atmosphere in wherever the shit's been sitting at. That stuff tends to be a little bit fresher for me than the stuff that sits in the jar. And, I mean, Mylar, I get the smallest nug size, but it's all dependent. It's 100% dependent on who you get it from and their distribution style, you know?
Yeah. I mean, because what I have right now is fucking moist.
Yo, dumb moist, bro. I thought you were cheating. Like, you said you got an ounce or two sitting there, you know, and it's hard to keep that kind of stuff fresh if it's not moving. You having trouble moving your shit, bro, or what?
Maybe I'm not smoking enough.
Maybe you're not smoking enough, huh?
Because I've been dabbing.
Fair enough. But yo, yeah, so for me, that's the numbers that I'm peeping at when all else fails me, and I don't have any other way to tell you what's great from what's good. I'm looking at how fresh my weed is, man. You don't check your cilantro when you go to Stater Brothers, or?
I look at it and I'm like, oh, it looks nice.
Yeah.
Let's take this.
I don't want the one that has too many brown spots.
But then why can't the jar just give me a view of that? I want to be able to see it. I want to see it at the trap, yo. They'll show that shit to you. So they'll be like, yo, check this out. Boom. They'll still put it in little separate jars for you.
But see, and they don't have no morals about how they sell the shit to you, though. You don't think they have it in like a little fresh vac or something in the back? Or
the only reason these shops have morals is because the government told them to have morals. Otherwise, they would be doing the same shit.
Yo, at least there's rules, though. At least there's rules. What the fuck? I'm not pretending that these guys are fucking Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, yo, niggas got rules, you know?
Yeah, we all got rules.
Fair enough. Yo, thank you guys for listening. This was Elijah, the digital Budtender.
This is Meyer, your co-host, the king of trap.
And you've been listening to Outsmoken, the world's most potent